So welcome to Essential Experience. This is my friend and I believe also soul family, Duane Ollinger. And we want to talk about, when did you first realize that there's something going on? Like, what was your first experience that you had where you're like, what is that? What's happening to me?
Well, like I talked about in the speech about taking a test.
Yeah.
And never reading one question and having all the answers.
Yes.
That was a pretty tough gig right there. But that's what I could kind of tell, that there was things going on in my life. But then you get into the real world and you kind of forget about that thing, and then
and it comes back.
Oh yeah. And then your projects you get on, it's pretty interesting.
So basically, what he did was to explain that he did have a test in school, like finals, and you did like average. I mean, I was an average student, same thing. And then there were the finals, and what you did by intuition, you were like, okay, I'm just reading the answers, and then I'll just cross what I believe is the one that makes more sense.
No, I never read an answer. I never read a question. I was just told the answer as far as if it was A or B or D or...
Also, you had an input, basically, so an intuitive input, so you had help.
Yeah, I'd just go to the next question, I'd get the answer. I didn't even read the question or the answer.
So basically you scored higher than everybody else in your school. Everybody was baffled prior to school history. So that is already, I'm saying, your angels or ETs, or you had assistants to be on your way.
Oh yeah, most certainly. There was no doubt, and that was always confusing to me after that.
Why was it confusing? Did you try to compare that input with regular life, or would you think, where's this going?
Yeah, with regular life, no doubt. So you always knew how hard you struggled to remember some of that boring stuff they wanted to teach you.
Yeah.
And so in turn, when it came right down to it, you just, I was just told the answers, and then the scores came in, and the rest is history. But that's whenever I finally felt like there was something else going on throughout your life. You kind of remember that all the way through your life, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. So, when was the first time you've seen a spaceship where you knew this is a ship? This is a shining object in the sky, and what was it doing?
So that's whenever up there in Utah, when we were on that project up there. So that had been 08, plus or minus on the years.
Yeah.
And I seen 3 ships come in at us, and then 3 more and 3 more. So 9 total.
Yeah.
And once they parked, they would blow a fog all the way around their ship, where it looked like a cloud. So, but they was all 3 in line.
So basically, you saw the ships before they cloaked themselves.
Yeah, big time, because they came in hot. Because we were told that we were kind of in a bind up there, and so the general kind of told us that, okay, if you're going up there tonight, then we'll send some guards.
Yeah. So the theory I wanted to share with you is that I have is that I believe that the Uinta Basin is full of parked ships that were parked millions of years ago. I want to see how you feel about it. And when I visited your ranch, and I walked the land at night, I looked at the surrounding environment, and it almost looked like a computer graphic. And I was sober. And I was like, you know when rock formations kind of look like normal rock formations. But when I was up on the tree, which I call the ET marker, and I looked, by the tree is where you found the camera system.
Yeah.
And you look towards, like to right, there's this mountain that has a clear-cut slope. Have you seen that one? I don't know if you remember that. It's a little bit off the ground. So at night, you see the shadow is like a clear-cut line.
Okay.
And I said to myself, this looks like this was done millions of years ago, but this is artificial landscape. Well, how do you feel?
So that's things that I just don't notice out there like that. I am not trained to look at that. You're kind of caught up in the overall what you would call the regular construction or doing things like that. So you don't have a lot of time to go and just look at it in a different perspective, and that's probably where I get myself in mind.
Okay, so another question for people that haven't seen the show. They have a show on Discovery Channel, Mysteries of Blind Frog Ranch. I suggest you watch that. Very, very interesting happenings, just to open your mind to see what's going on. Spoiler alert, I have a question. What happened at season 2 is how deep you think that underwater drone can go into that cave system.
So the drones that we have one that can go 1,500 foot, but it has no capability of a sonar, radar, or a metal detector. The biggest one we got can only go about 300 feet. And in doing that, to get those drones to go in there where you need them to go, it's not as easy as it looks. And
So you need the cable, right?
yeah, you
can't go remote with water. It cuts
No,
the.
yeah, you got tether lines. In that tether line of that drone, you have the information coming from the computer to the drone.
So are there limits to, if you can share that, to the mapping, how far you can go to map the cave? Is there a limit to how deep you can go in to map it?
So what we need to do right now is to say that there are people that are stepping up to the plate,
Mm-hmm.
and even if there's not a season 3, there's people that are wanting to step up to the plate that will
Mhm.
bring in a higher level than what we have.
Yeah.
And that's going to be huge.
Yeah, I mean, we heard this scientist this morning who's going to assist you. What's his name?
James Keener.
Yeah, that he said he has a system that can penetrate deeper than the regular scanning system.
Oh yeah.
To
yeah.
figure out if you have a cavern or an
Yeah.
object.
Yeah, he does, and that's what the scans are going to be. Even before if there is a season 3, we're going to bring in, and we're bringing in technology.
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now,
to get more data of what's
Yeah.
happening on
Oh,
the
yeah.
land. I
Yeah.
mean, my experience was visiting his land was that my battery was at a loss of 35%. I had a high-tech drone that can handle anomalies.
Mhm.
So there are drones out there like you don't need $20,000. You can have $1,400. You can do a DJI,
Yep.
and they alert you in the app when there are anomalies. So when I did a test flight,
Uh-huh.
it would show me between your lake and up on a tree in this crevice a lot of anomalies. Like it would beep.
Oh, really?
So it pick up the spikes of where and it says warning. It might malfunction because of anomalies. The only malfunction that I had was that I couldn't read my battery time anymore.
Mhm.
So I knew in my head I got like probably 35-minute flight time, and then my display just didn't show me my flight time.
Mhm.
But I still was able to remote control it and fly it. So interesting that people have to spend like $20,000 to
Well,
learn to lose their drone. You know?
Well, the you got to give them credit because that's what they have, and they're carrying way more equipment than just a regular old scenario.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
they
yeah.
they have some high level stuff that they need for, I guess you might say, their documentary.
For survey and
Yeah,
filming and
lots of
cameras.
different things.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
in saying that, yeah, they had trouble. They had big trouble.
Yeah. So I had one night, maybe you can share an experience you had there, that if you can share that. I was sleeping in my car, parked by the tent
Mhm.
where your crew did the filming,
Mhm.
and then I heard this shoom, boom, and I woke up shook, and it came from the ground,
Oh, really?
but I don't remember the words, and it was super loud.
Really?
So, for any experience that you had on the land at night or whatever, when
No.
it's more active, nothing?
Nothing like that, and you got to understand the times I saw those ships, that was back in 08 plus or minus.
Mm-hmm.
And we've never got to experience that type of deal again. Now,
Mhm.
we've heard some massive rumbles out there that would create like a vortex of wind that would just blow stuff all over the place and not be able to see anything.
Mm-hmm.
And not even be cloudy, it just fires up and just creates havoc.
So how do you think, so my theory is, because, and maybe in the future, like I pitched the idea that we can assist, I have another friend, a psychic, and I know what to ask him, and he says, nobody asked me what you are asking. So we kind of like mapped psychically the land, and we feel that there is something like a survey ship that was parked 200 feet below. We think it has an antimatter hull that antimatter hull is a protective layer that created the blue dirt. It's a shield, but it influences molecules around it. So our take and what we put together as and call it occult science is that there are time-space anomalies. So how do you think that scientists can tackle the measurements on the land when they first of all don't know what they're measuring and don't know what equipment would work, or if the equipment fails, how do they know it's failing? You know, how do you find your way? You're literally a blind frog there.
Oh, you're
trying to be like,
you're terribly blind.
Yeah, so
there's no doubt, but you can't deny what you see, most generally.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing I got going on. But yes, there's other things going on. You know that there's been people out there that got in the ponds and they go over there in the energy zone, and for whatever, they had a major backache, or a lady that had her deck that didn't work for 12 years and things like that. It's like it's energizing the body. Now, how that works, I don't know, but I do know that these people were hurting.
Yeah.
And when they left, they weren't.
Yeah.
And and
I had the same
that's their
experience.
story, not mine.
Yeah, I had a long story with my back, but it was deeper than just healing instantly, because it had to do with how I work out and how I'm working. And I had sciatica coming to Utah, and when I bathed in that lake, within like 10 minutes, that sciatica was gone. And that enabled me days later, it was like a 11 to 12 hour drive to Sedona, to drive back because I couldn't sit.
Yeah.
And then I knew there's something in the lake that does something to the body, which I myself study, like ions and photons and how does that work.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that you're going to go deeper than you've been on the land?
So
Deeper than 60 feet?
So our biggest deal is, to keep me out of a scenario here, our biggest deal is we're going to keep exploring, but we're not there to tear up any of the land.
Mm-hmm.
That's not us. The most of the digging took place back in 08, 09,
mm-hmm.
and so everything else is just opening up and looking for more scenarios. So we will be working on a different type program, bringing in more different equipment, and then also, I will say, Rob, that there's people coming from all over the world to say, hey, look, we want to help.
Mm-hmm.
We want people to know.
Yeah.
And it's that's the good thing about this whole deal is, oh hell, me and you wouldn't have met.
And I got the input, psychically go in. Just pitch ideas, and
mm-hmm.
see where this goes,
Yeah.
So I just give you what they tell me to tell you. So
Mm-hmm.
I have I call them the Arcturian Council,
Uh-huh.
and they tell me then that this is what you're getting, so to pitch the idea. So far I know that whoever parked that ship there, they call it the Lanoi, and they're of the Lanoi yield race, and the yields are the ones with the Spock ears. That's what I got. I send you a picture.
Yeah.
I had an artist that can go from skull to making a face. I said, can you do this with a rock? And he's never done that before, the most unusual stuff. And then I send you
And
the
that's
image
where that
they
came
got.
from?
That's
Really?
where that came from. So
How
he
would
was
that-
basically looking at the anatomy of what the remnant could be, a remnant ruin. We don't know that.
Mhm.
It's very withered. And then we came with the image of that
Over there.
of that race.
I didn't know that one.
Yeah.
And that's
so-
on the ranch.
yeah.
That
marker, I call it the ET marker.
yeah.
And I think it's an ancient spot because you found the things you found, which people have to watch the show and see what they found, is that was a ritual place because the energy coming from the ship. So my take is this going to the Uinta Basin, there are many spots where little ships, big ships all over the place parked for a certain reason. I don't know, for us to dig them out, make contact, and people use it as ritual places. And they forgot what the purpose of that place was.
Yeah. Without you knowing this, we always had information from upstairs that there is a object about 150 foot down in the energy zone that was, I'm not saying it's one of our targets, but if we get to walk by it when we enter the cave systems, we'll sure take a peek and see what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds interesting. And
But
so
it's not like we want to tear anything apart that's
Yeah.
there for a reason.
yeah.
We're not
You want to
into
do
that.
what's purposeful.
You're right.
So basically, you still get ongoing input
Yeah.
as you explore the land. You still get input from upstairs, like next steps or next levels or ideas.
Well, no, I don't know if I get any of that anymore, but I will say that we know for a fact, or I know for a fact, that we're not there to destroy something.
Yeah, yeah.
In the smaller picture, even though they have to bring in the intrigue by gold and things like that, that's the smaller picture.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger picture is what's really going on and how the energy is lifting out of the ground. And
I mean, how we understand to work with what's there.
yeah, exactly. And most certainly 100% that we're not there to say, oh, look what we found, and we mess something up and bring it out.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
all of a sudden, but now what you do?
Yeah,
No, I don't need any of that.
yeah.
I don't want to put a trailer hitch on that
Yeah.
spaceship.
So, yeah, to not take any more of your time, just what is it that you wish and hope to do and share with the people with this project? What is in your heart?
So what has really started this whole deal is to tell people that there's more out there than what the governments and or religions are telling us.
Mm-hmm.
It's just our Creator is way more creative than what we're being told. I'm not saying it's anybody's fault. I'm just saying that He's saying, look, we're bigger. He's bigger than what we can get our minds around. That's all I can say is. You know, I don't know where to go with that.
Well, that's it. It's intuitive, it's felt, and I think, yeah, when I first saw you, I was like, you're not the cookie cutter type, like to sell, and of course we all want to make money. Everybody wants a big business exchange. We bring apples to the market. You want to pay the apple picker, of course. But the way you told your story, that was so, to me, it was so backwards.
Yeah,
It's so unusual. I'm like, how's this guy even having the guts, the life that he came from, to share that?
Yeah.
And you were not trying to sell it. You were like, okay, you can believe it or not.
Yeah.
This is what I have to share. And that originality kind of like sparked me. I'm like, this dude is right.
Well,
This is right. And that's how we met. That's how we talked.
Right. You can't deny what you've seen.
Yeah,
or you're lying to yourself. Again, why would we hold information that we know is true away from somebody and see like our grandkids go down the wrong road thinking, well, if I would have told them the truth about what I know, they might have took a different road,
And that's what actually Ascension is, that we show them what's actually going on, so people that can witness what our findings in life can make a different decision based on what's actually there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's past what the school has taught us, what the consensus of scientists, that's impossible, that they're still arguing, still with things that are in the field. And it's the time of the great revelation, as in revealing the age of the Aquarius. Now we left the age of Pisces, which I believe. Now it's I know. So like you said, once you have an experience, you can't unknow that. You can't unexperience your experience.
No, they can put a pistol to your head, and if they give you
It's not going to change what you saw. It is what it is.
Yeah, just shoot me, I guess. But
yeah, better not. We need more stories. So thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
And I mean that.
Yeah. Seriously, this is felt.
Yeah.
This is not. You see on my show, I pick special candidates. You have to be a special case.
There you go. I think I got one.
Yeah, you got one.
Okay.
The interdimensional basket cases are here.